Welcome to the Black Dragon Depths, a tavern hidden beneath the city of Greyport. Sometimes it's exactly like a dungeon down here, and the optional dungeon event deck reminds you of that, frequently. You may use the dungeon event deck with any combination of Red Dragon Inn characters, new or old. To set up, shuffle the dungeon event deck and place 2 progress counters on it. At the end of each player's turn, remove a progress counter. When the last counter is removed, reveal the top card of the deck. A dungeon event card has a title, an effect, and an encounter level. When you reveal a dungeon event, take its effect, then put a number of progress counters equal to the encounter level back onto the dungeon event deck. Dungeon events affect all players. If a dungeon event requires choices to be made, those choices are made in turn order starting with the player whose turn is ending. If a dungeon event gives you an option you can't do, you can't choose that option. Here's an example as our villains drink or meet their doom. Amandir, whose turn is ending, chooses to discard 3 cards. Darika may not choose to discard 3 since she only has 2, so she must drink. Torgelsnarf discards, but Vlaslo chooses to drink instead. He must like his hand. When a dungeon event refers to a villain, it means one of the characters in RDI 6, for now. When a dungeon event refers to a hero, it means any character that isn't a villain. Removing a progress counter is the last thing that happens on a player's turn. This happens after taking scarab damage from Amandir, for example. If a player loses the game or otherwise ends their turn early, a token is still removed from the dungeon event deck. What if there's a teleportation accident and our heroes and villains find themselves both in the dungeon and on board the Crimson Drake at the same time? Good question, Joran. You can play with both the dungeon event and sea event decks. To do this, shuffle each deck separately, then place 2 sea event progress counters on the sea event deck and 3 dungeon event progress counters on the dungeon event deck. At the end of each player's turn, remove a progress token from the sea event deck and reveal a card if appropriate, then repeat this process with the dungeon event deck. This means that you could get a sea event followed by a dungeon event on the same turn. Thanks for watching. To explore further, check out our YouTube channel or the RDI 6 resources page at slugfestgames.com.